Both the lovely Lizzie from Bombadil's Bookish Things and Hannah from Letter M have tagged me in the Dungeons and Dragons book tag. I have the prompts here on my phone. Let's go through them. First up, Everyone's Dead. A character with a tragic backstory. What character could I choose other than Myrad from the books of Pellinor? This is the American edition called The Naming, and the UK and Australian edition, the author is Australian, is called The Gift. And whilst I can't say too much because we learn more about it in the course of the series, Myrad starts out as an enslaved character in a place called Gilman's Cot, where she is used as a farmhand, essentially. But that is only part of her tragic backstory. Question 2. Rooll, Persuasion With Advantage, an auto-buy author. I have two, and only two really, and that is Samantha Shannon and Derek Landy, for the Skullduggery Pleasant series and for the Bone Season series and also the Roots of Chaos series. I adore both of these authors. One writes adult fiction, one writes middle grade fiction, both are fantasy, both involve a lot of death and magic, and I adore them both to hell and back. Question 3 is Me and the Boy Is Gonna Mess You Up, an ensemble cast you love. Now, my true love ensemble cast is basic as shit, and that is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I feel like everyone says this, but it was my first real exposure to found family, and it's done so well. However, I will, as a slightly less basic answer, also include the characters in Before the Coffee Gets Cold, especially in this main cafe that is in the first book. The people who work there end up really forming deep bonds with each other and learning a lot more about each other's lives, and I really do love that. Question 4 is I rolled a 1, a character that tries their best but keeps failing. There's a few different people I could have went for with this, but I thought I'd go down a slightly different route, and that is Murderbot in the Murderbot series, with the first book, All Systems Red, by Martha Wells. Now, whilst Murderbot is often successful in saving the humans, the reason I'm picking this for not being successful is because Murderbot does not want to be saving humans. Murderbot wants to be locked away in a cupboard watching soap operas with no one speaking to it, and unfortunately that doesn't seem to happen for it ever. So it keeps failing at its main aim of never having to speak to someone ever again and just watching its soap opera. Question 5. A Rooll, To Tame The Floof, a book with a dangerous creature you'd love to have as a pet. Can I really give any answer other than dragons? I don't feel like the dragons in the inheritance cycle are pets, but here is an example. Like, come on man, don't you want a dragon? Everyone wants a dragon. Also, it did specify dangerous. There are other magical non-dangerous creatures that I would love to have, but dangerous. Question 6. DM Rolls Unexpectedly, a book that surprised you. This one for me is Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Boulley. I, for some unknown reason, went into this book assuming that it was fantasy, it was YA fantasy. It is not. It is a contemporary book, and so that did surprise me quite a lot. I kept waiting for a fantasy element and then went and looked it up and was like, there is no fantasy. However, despite that, I loved this. I can be very picky when it comes to my contemporary reads. I do much prefer to read science fiction fantasy, but this is done beautifully, and I can't recommend it enough. It's written by an Indigenous author, and it's all about a girl who is living on the res and trying to navigate everything that comes with that. Question 7 is I Would Like to Rage, a character with anger issues. Skullduggery Pleasant. He hides them deep down, but oh boy, does this man have anger issues! Question 8 is Thrust For Seduction, a spicy book. I really don't read spice, so this is the closest I have. I feel like it's not bad, and that is The Girl in 6E by A.R. Torr. This is a kind of sexual thriller where this woman has the urge to murder, and she doesn't want to be a murderer, so she locks herself in her flat and does essentially pre-OnlyFans, doing lots of videos and things like that, all from her flat and getting everything delivered. So she's got loads of money because these men pay her so much, and she locks herself away so that she doesn't give in to the temptation to murder. However, then a young girl is abducted, she hears about it on the news, and she thinks that it's somehow linked to one of her clients, and so for the first time in 3 years she leaves apartment 6E. So yes, that's the closest I have. I still need to get the last book in that trilogy, but for some reason on Amazon the paperback is like £27. What? Question 9, How Do You Want to Do This, is a book with a satisfying ending, and I'm going with The Toll, which is the final book in the Scythe, the Arc of the Scythe trilogy by Neil Shusterman. This ending is fantastic. It is simultaneously closing all of the loops whilst leaving it open, which, skill. I obviously don't want to ruin anything of this for you, but the basic premise of the series is that this society no longer has deaths, everything can be cured, people can reset the clock and go back to being younger, and so they have sides who go around and they have a quota of people that they need to glean, who they need to kill, and people are terrified of these sides, and we follow someone who goes through the training process to possibly become a scythe, and the series goes from there. This ending, like I said, it's just absolutely fantastic. It closes up all of the loose threads that Shusterman had throughout the trilogy and really weaves them together very well as then just setting off and showing us what we don't know and what's going to be in the future. This is just, I love it. It's done so well. And question 10, gather your party. Pick 3 friends to tag. So this is a difficult one because with both Lizzie and Hannah doing it already, a lot of the people that I would tag have already been tagged. However, I am going to tag Eleanor from Eleanor Nicote. I think she would have a great time doing this. I'm going to tag Veronica Reeds, and I'm also going to tag Victoria. Let me know down below, folks, do you play Dungeons and Dragons? And if so, as what character? I think that's the correct question. I did it, like, I played a little bit of Dungeons and Dragons when I was in uni. We weren't able to keep it up because it was in my group of friends 3rd year. Bad time to start it. And yeah, now all of my friends live all over the place and I'm not up for digital D&D, so unfortunately I just don't do it anymore. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below what character you have if you play D&D, and please do feel free to do the tag. As you've just seen, you don't have to play D&D to do it. Thank you for watching, folks, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!